Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to Jinjin's Cosmic if you didn't happen to be here. Perhaps it's time to meet your soul. This is not a judgment from the heavens condemning your past choices. It is the final, sovereign judgment you make for yourself. It is the moment you look at the mosaic of your life, the beautiful pieces, the broken pieces, the painful pieces, and you decide, with unwavering clarity, how you will arrange them from this day forward. You are reclaiming your power as the artist of your own life. Dear Libra, come and sit with me for a moment. I need you to listen, not just with your ears, but with that deep, quiet place within you that has been feeling a subtle, persistent tremor. Have you sensed it? A hairline fracture in the porcelain of your piece, a strange dissonance in the melody of your days. It is not a loud alarm, but a profound and unsettling stillness. The kind of quiet that falls just before a storm you can feel in your bones, even when the sky is clear. If this resonates, if you have felt as though you are holding your breath, waiting for a ground that feels increasingly fragile to finally give way, then you must know this is no accident. Your soul has guided you to this very moment, to this sacred space, because it knows what your mind has been trying to dismiss. A great reckoning is not approaching, Libra. It is already here, and this is not a message of fear. It is a lifeline of truth, an urgent intervention from the universe, sent to awaken you before the beautiful illusions you have so carefully maintained begin to dissolve. This is not about a physical danger. It is about the collapse of a reality that has become too small for the truth of who you are. Before we journey into the heart of this matter, I want you to anchor your intention with me. Let us create a ripple of awareness together. Please, in the quiet space of the comments below, affirm this with me. Write, I, Libra, am ready to see the truth behind the mirror. This is more than a comment. It is a sacred contract with your own soul. A declaration that you are ready to stop looking at the reflection and finally see yourself. Now, let us speak of the breaking. In your life, there may be a situation, a relationship, a career, a belief system that is beginning to feel hollow. On the surface, it may still look perfect, balanced, and harmonious, just as you have always designed it to be. But inside, you feel the emptiness. You feel the strain of holding it all together. This, dear Libra, is the energy of a sacred collapse. It is a divine force that arrives not to punish you, but to liberate you from a beauty that has become a cage. You see, from the very beginning, your soul has been on a quest for harmony. Ruled by Venus, you are a natural artist of life, weaving peace, beauty, and connection wherever you go. But when did that quest for harmony become a relentless performance? When did keeping the peace begin to mean sacrificing your own? You learned, perhaps in childhood, that your value was tied to your ability to be the calm in someone else's storm, the steady bridge over troubled waters. You became a master of reflection, a perfect, polished mirror, showing people the most beautiful version of themselves, soothing their discord, and absorbing their chaos. And it was a noble role. But the mirror can only reflect. It cannot live. And after years of reflecting the needs, desires, and emotions of others, have you forgotten the landscape of your own soul? The truth is, Libra, you have been building a life on a foundation of silent compromises and unspoken truths, and that foundation is now shaking, not because you have failed, but because your spirit is crying out for something real. The universe is saying, enough. You were not made to be a reflection. You were made to be a source of light. This is not a punishment. This is a rescue mission. The exhaustion you feel, the anxiety that hums just beneath the surface, the sleep that will not come, these are not signs of your weakness. They are the symptoms of a soul that is using every last ounce of its energy to hold together a reality it has outgrown. So, when a crack appears, when a job is lost, when a friendship ends, when a truth is spoken that shatters the polite silence, do not rush to repair it. Take a breath. This is not the end. This is the breaking open. This is the moment the light finally gets in. In this space, your only task is to be gentle with yourself. Pause the endless scrolling that numbs the feeling. Drink warm water with ginger and honey, not as a trend, but as an act of kindness to a nervous system that is working overtime. Write down what you are feeling, not to analyze it, but simply to honor its existence. Let what must fall, fall, because what remains after the illusion shatters will be real, and for the first time in a long time, it will be truly yours. After the breaking, there is a pause. A strange, suspended moment where the dust has not yet settled and the future is an unwritten page. This is where you may find yourself now, Libra, floating in a quiet, uncertain space between what was and what is not yet. You are not falling behind. You are not stuck. You are being held in a sacred moment of stillness, a divine intermission, so you can finally see what was invisible to you in the rush of your old life. This is the gift of the great pause. After the mirror of your old reality has cracked, we often expect a new one to appear instantly. We crave immediate answers, a clear path forward, but spirit does not work that way. True clarity does not arrive through frantic movement. It arrives through profound stillness. And in this stillness, you are being invited to do something you have perhaps never done before. To gather the scattered shards of that broken mirror and examine each one with love and curiosity. This shard here, is it a genuine piece of you? Or is it a reflection of your mother's expectations? This one, shimmering with the memory of a past love, are you holding on to it because it once brought you joy, or because you are afraid of being alone? And this large, heavy piece, the one that defined your career, did it ever truly reflect the passions of your heart? Or was it a reflection of what you were told was safe and respectable? These are not easy questions, Libra, and they are not meant to be answered by your mind. They are meant to be felt by your soul. This period of delay, of plans being cancelled, of feeling a deep fatigue that forces you to rest, it is not a punishment. It is a divinely orchestrated retreat. The universe is carving out this space for you, protecting you from making your next move from the old, fractured place. It is giving you time to conduct a sacred inventory of your life. One of the most powerful things you can do right now is to let yourself not know. Release the pressure to have it all figured out. For so long, your identity has been wrapped up in being the one who has it together, the one who brings clarity to others. Now, it is your turn to rest in the mystery. It is your turn to be held. I invite you to try a small but profound practice. Each morning, before the world rushes in, spend 15 minutes in absolute silence. Do not ask for answers. Do not try to solve your problems. Simply sit, breathe, and gently ask your soul, what am I now free to see? The answers may not come in words. They may come as a feeling, a memory, a color. They may not come at all in that moment. But you are planting a seed. You are signaling to the universe that you are no longer available for illusion. You are ready for what is real. I once heard a beautiful story about a master potter who would intentionally break his most promising creations. His apprentices were horrified. "Why would you destroy something so beautiful?" they asked. He replied, "Because only by breaking it can I see if there are hidden fractures within, and only by reassembling it with gold can it become something not just beautiful, but unbreakable and true." You are not lost, dear Libra. You are in the hands of the divine potter. This pause, this period of feeling suspended and upside down, is where the hidden fractures are being revealed. And when you emerge, you will not just be whole again. You will be a masterpiece of resilience. Your broken pieces mended with the gold of self-knowledge and truth. Trust this sacred, uncomfortable stillness. It is the womb of your rebirth. As you sit in this stillness, Libra, you may become aware of the shadows, not the frightening monsters of the night, but the subtle, murky illusions that have been coloring your perception for years. There is a great fog that is beginning to lift, and with it comes a gentle but piercing question from the universe. What are you afraid to know? This is not just about the deceptions of others, though you may be seeing those with painful clarity now. This is about the beautiful, well-intentioned lies you have learned to tell yourself. The lie that you are responsible for everyone else's happiness. The lie that your needs are a burden. The lie that if you speak your unfiltered truth, you will be abandoned. These are not your truths, Libra. They are invisible scripts you were handed. Generational stories you inherited. Silent contracts you signed with fear just to feel safe in the world. The moon, in all its mystical wisdom, governs this deep subconscious realm. Its energy is rising within you now, not to frighten you, but to illuminate what has been hiding in plain sight. Your intuition is at an all-time high. You can walk into a room and feel the unspoken tension. You can hear the discord between someone's words and their energy. This is your superpower, your innate ability to sense misalignment. But here is the sacred challenge. If that gift is not grounded in unwavering self-trust, it can turn on you. You begin to absorb the emotional fog of others, mistaking their chaos for your own. As an air sign ruled by Venus, you are a natural empath, a mirror for the frequencies around you. You have spent a lifetime unconsciously filtering the emotional pollution of your environment, trying to soothe and balance it. You may have mistaken a partner's silence as a judgment of your worth, a friend's withdrawal as your failure, a parent's anxiety as your responsibility, and so you adapted. You learned to perform peace instead of cultivating it from within. You became what others needed you to be, and in the process, the reflection in the mirror became so clouded with the fingerprints of others that you could no longer see yourself. The moon rises to ask you, with infinite tenderness, to stop, to pause, and to ask, whose fear am I carrying? Whose reflection am I living in? Because your inner light was never meant to be a dim reflection of someone else's sun. It was meant to be its own radiant, celestial body. This is a time for profound energetic hygiene. Begin to clear the fog. Take a bath with sea salt and lavender, and as the water drains, visualize it carrying away all the energies that are not yours. Journal your dreams the moment you wake. They are direct messages from your soul, bypassing the logic of your mind. Meditate on a cleansing, silver light, imagining it dissolving any emotional cords that drain your vitality. Most importantly, begin a new practice. Get a private journal, and in it, start writing down the truths you have been too polite, too afraid, or too kind to say out loud. I feel unseen in this relationship. This job is draining my spirit. I am tired of pretending I am okay. Let the words exist on the page. in the safety of your own sacred space. This is the first step. You are not rehearsing for a confrontation. You are simply allowing your truth to breathe for the first time. There is a powerful story of a woman who kept dreaming she was in a beautiful house filled with fog. She couldn't find the windows or doors. For years, she thought the dream was a warning of being trapped. But one day, a therapist asked her, "What if the fog is not a prison? What if it is made of all the words you have never spoken?" That night, she wrote a long, uncensored letter to herself, pouring out decades of swallowed truth. The next time she had the dream, the fog was gone, and she saw that the walls were made of windows, and every single one was open. That is the invitation before you now, Libra. Do not run from the emotional haze. Sit with it. Listen to what the shadows are trying to show you, because somewhere in that murky water is a pearl of wisdom your soul has been waiting your whole life to reveal. And once you find it, you will never allow your light to be hidden again. There comes a moment, Libra, after the breaking, after the stillness, after the clearing of the fog, when the silence is finally broken. But it is not broken by chaos. It is broken by a clear, resonant sound, like a trumpet call from the very core of your being. This is not a sound of war. It is a sound of awakening, a call to rise. This is the moment of your great realignment. You are no longer being asked to reflect. You are being called to radiate. All the truths you have unearthed, all the wisdom you have gleaned from the stillness, this is the moment they begin to coalesce into a new reality. The roles you played to be loved, the silence you maintained to keep the peace, the small, safe dreams you settled for that chapter is over. That version of you served its purpose. It kept you safe. Now, it is time to rise into the magnificent, authentic being you were always destined to be. You may feel this energy as a sudden surge of clarity. A casual conversation might spark a life-altering epiphany. An opportunity you thought was long gone may reappear, this time in a form that is perfectly aligned with your soul. Or perhaps the shift is quieter. Perhaps it is the simple, profound moment when you say no without guilt, not out of anger, but from a place of deep self-honor, knowing that your yes is a sacred gift. What is so beautiful about this stage is that you do not have to force it. The awakening is already in motion. Your only task is to stop resisting the magnificent version of yourself that is waiting for you. Stop apologizing for your light. Stop shrinking to make others comfortable. I often share a simple truth with those I guide. The universe does not show you the entire staircase to your destiny. It simply illuminates the very next step and trusts that you will have the courage to take it. This, right now, is that step. It may be a single, honest conversation. It may be the decision to leave a situation that is draining you. It may be the choice to finally invest in that dream you've kept locked away in your heart. Whatever it is the first step taken not from a place of obligation, but from a place of pure, resonant alignment. Resurrection is not a distant, mythical concept, Libra. It is the everyday courage it takes to let go of the person you were taught to be, so you can finally live as the person you truly are. And the moment you make that choice, the entire universe rearranges itself to support you. Life does not meet you at the level of your performance. It meets you at the level of your truth. So, if you feel something stirring within you now, a deep knowing that you have waited long enough, that you have dimmed your light for the last time, listen. That is not just a feeling. That is your soul's trumpet. That is the sound of your rebirth. And this time, you do not come back as a repaired version of your old self. You rise as a living embodiment of the truth you were always meant to be. quietly powerful, radically authentic, and finally free. If you have walked this entire journey with me to this final moment, know that this was a divine appointment. The breakdowns, the pauses, the shadows, they were not a series of unfortunate events. They were a sacred, orchestrated path leading you back to the radiant truth of your own heart. You never needed anyone's permission to be brilliant. You only needed to remember the light you have always carried. And so I ask you, with love and reverence for your journey, have you been living in a beautiful cage of your own making? Have you been watering down the vibrant colors of your soul to paint a picture of harmony that was never truly real? If your heart whispers yes, then let this be your moment of liberation. You do not have to keep shrinking to fit into spaces you have so clearly outgrown. You were not created to be a supporting character in someone else's story. You were created to bring balance to a chaotic world, to weave beauty from the threads of conflict, and to stand as a lighthouse in the fog, shining with a light that is unapologetically your own. Not because you are perfect, but because you are finally willing to be real. And that, dear Libra, is where your true power has been waiting all along. If you are feeling this activation deep within your soul, do not let this moment pass. Seal your intention. Write in the comments below, I choose to live aligned with my soul. No fear, no delay. Your declaration is a powerful ripple, giving courage to others who are learning to find their own voice. And if this message has served as a mirror to your heart, if it has felt like a homecoming, then I invite you to support this sacred work. Please like this video, share it with another soul who is ready to awaken, and subscribe to this channel where we journey together into the heart of truth and transformation. Your presence and your energy are what make this sacred community possible. Thank you from the depths of my heart for your courage to feel, to break open, and to rise. Remember, you were never meant to simply keep the peace. You were meant to become it.